So after that women's singles, we turn our attention to men's singles. And a welcome return to Grand Prix Golds and the world stage for the left-handed Kento Momota. The former world #2 from Japan is up against Ihsan Maulana Mustofa of Indonesia, the number 14 seed. Well, as far as the men's singles draw is concerned, we should have started with 16 seeds, but we only had 15 because the number 1 seed, Ankar Long, pulled out by quarter-final stage, 6 different nations and 6 seeds. And semi-finals, 4 different nations. The 3rd time it's happened this year, and a 2nd consecutive time because it happened last week in Saarbrücken at the Bitburger Grand Prix Gold. So 3 seeds, the only unseeded player, the former world #2, Kento Momota, who is through to today's final. Disappointment in the bottom half of the draw, as you can see, because Zulkifli of Malaysia withdrew injured in his semi-final before the semi-final got underway. So here comes the former world #2, the left-handed Kento Momota. Ihsan Maulana Mustofa of Indonesia, the number 14 seed. Well, similar to the women's singles and Chai Yen, this is a player who's about to celebrate a birthday. He's going to turn 22 in 6 days' time, so next Saturday. And in fact, Mustofa has been a semi-finalist here at the Macau Grand Prix Gold previously. That was 2 years ago when he was the number 16 seed. Lost out in that semi-final to the number 2 seed, Tian Hao Wei, who then lost in the final. Well, I say a welcome return to the world stage for the left-hander Kento Momota. Was suspended by his national federation after visiting an illegal gambling house. Suspended for a year. His original suspension was indefinite, but having shown good attitude in training, they then earlier this year decided that his suspension would be lifted. And since his suspension has been lifted, this is his 6th tournament in international play and his 6th final. He lost his first final after coming back to international play, and that was in Canada at the Canadian Grand Prix. And in his last 4 tournaments, he's won them all. 4 of his 5 tournaments this year he's had to qualify for. So as you can see, former world #2, the 23-year-old from Kagawa on Shikoku Island, the smallest of the 4 main islands that make up Japan. And as you can see from his matches, well, the first 2 rounds, he went the full distance. And then in the quarterfinal against number 6 seed, the man who'd beat him in the final of the Canadian Grand Prix, his teammate Kanta Tsuneyama. And then yesterday in the semi-final, the number 3 seed, the former champion here, Lee Hyun-il. Lee Hyun-il won the title here in 2011, having withdrawn from the final the previous year. 28 minutes, that really is correct. And if you were with us yesterday, you will have enjoyed seeing Momota in great form. I was particularly looking forward to that match, and it ended up very one-sided. So to the number 14 seed, as I say, he'll turn 22 in 6 days' time. Born in Tasikmalaya in West Java, which of course is the same birthplace as the great Susie Susanti. So this will be his second Grand Prix gold final. He was in the final of the Thailand Open 2 years ago, where he lost to Lee Hyun-il, the man I've just been talking about, who was in the other semi-final here in Macau. So he's had one semi-final this year. It was a non-ranking tournament. He was bronze medalist at the Southeast Asian Games. And he had that rest yesterday. Let me mention his quarter-final, his third round match, I beg your pardon, against the number 8 seed, because Zhao Jungpeng was the defending champion. He won this title here in Macau last year. Quarter-final beat the number 2 seed, Wong Wing Ki of Hong Kong, and then that walkover yesterday against the Malaysian. So Cynthia Tam from Australia is our umpire for this one. Wong Wai Lei from Macau, our service judge.
Ladies and gentlemen, on my right, Kento Momota, Japan. And on my left, Ihsan Maulana Mustofa, Indonesia. Kento Momota to serve. Love all. Play.
So the left-handed Kento Momota getting this men's singles final underway. Remarkably, it is his first ever Grand Prix Gold Tournament final. And I say remarkably because, of course, he has won 4 Super Series events. 3 in 2015, Singapore, Indonesia, and the Super Series finals. And 1 last year, the India event. So he went from playing international challenger events to winning Super Series.
2, love.
Shoji Sato, Japanese coach. Well, no player from Japan has ever won a title here at the Macau Open, and that's across all 5 disciplines. In fact, they've only previously had 1 finalist here, and that was Minatsu Mitani in the women's singles 2 years ago. Yeah, well worked rally from Momota.
Service over.
Lack of Japanese players winning titles here in Macau, whereas Indonesian players, well, there's been 1 previous winner of the men's singles from Indonesia, and that was in 2008, Taufik Hidayat, former world and Olympic champion. That final in 2008 beat Lee Chong-wei. In fact, Taufik had been in 2 finals, because he was also a finalist the year prior to him winning the title. It's been some time since a player from Japan won a Grand Prix Gold men's singles title as well. You have to go back to 2011, the US Open, when Sho Sasaki beat Tianmin Nguyen in the final. So over 6 years ago. Oh no, some of the strapping coming off already. Strapping just below the kneecap.
over. 5-2. Fault. Service over. 3-5.
Well, as you saw earlier, this is the second meeting between these two players. First time they met was in the final of the Asia Men's Team Championships last year. Indonesia actually won that final 3-2, but the first match on court was these two players playing at first men's singles, and it was Momota who won on that occasion, 21-17, 21-7 in just 39 minutes. That's delightful, isn't it? Look at that. Momota backing off, looking for the lift to the back of the court. Oh, nice block. What a good rally. There. Totally different prospect in today's final for Momota.
5-all.
Seemed to be on cruise control yesterday against former champion Lee Hyun-il. Much longer, tougher rallies in these early stages here today in the final against Mustofa. It's going wide.
Service over. 6-5.
Oh, well taken, my goodness me. Well, now, he made that look easy. I can assure you it wasn't,
5.
because the shuttle and the net shot from his opponent was tumbling. Well, I'm not sure we'll see it. But to control that was very good indeed. Four straight points.
5.
Well, I know a lot of badminton fans around the world are very much hoping to see Momota back playing Super Series before too long. He can only do that, according to his own national governing body, if he is part of the national A team. Unless you're part of the A team, you are not allowed to enter Super Series events. A lot of badminton fans around the world are very much hoping that for the start of next year, he will be back in the A team, so we can see him at the top events in world badminton, because the way he's playing right now, you'd hardly think he'd been away. In fact, I said yesterday I thought he looked slimmer and trimmer and fitter than when he was world #2. Looking very good indeed. And a healthy 5-point advantage at the mid-game interval. Shoji Sato. Coach was a fine men's singles player himself.
11-6. Play.
Good doubles player as well. Gone long. That's good judgment.
12-6. Service over. 7-12.
Word. What a super smash. Power and precision.
Eight, 12.
Oh, yes. Yeah. A little bit of trickery at the front of the court there from Momota. Apologises for hitting his opponent. Yeah, that's a couple of times he's thundered a smash straight down that line. Towards the left-handers, forehand side.
9-13.
Good rally.
Yes.
Well, the one-time 6-point deficit has been halved. Now just 3 points in it. Former medalist at World Junior Championships, Mustofa. That was in 2013. Bronze medal. Oh. This is a good comeback. Missed it.
Service over. 14-12.
Oh, yes. Well, he was hoping that Momota was backpedaling towards the back of the court as he had done earlier in the match, but he's a fast learner. Look at that, he's hovering, he's waiting. And that net shot just a little too loose.
Service over. 13-15.
Oh, yes.
Service over. 16-13.
You can't give him any half chances. He's very sharp. Said that earlier, he's looking sharper than I remember him when he was winning Super Series tournaments and getting to world number 2. Yeah, look at that again. Quick back. Plays a winner. You shouldn't be able to do that.
13.
And somehow, all these great players find a way to do so. Oh, yes, well worked by the Indonesian. Mustofa looking for opportunities, waiting for the right one to go for the winner. As soon as he had forced his opponent to play the high backhand, he knew that was the opportunity.
Kento. 14-17.
Oh, good defense. Good rally. Oh, clever. Got to be the longest rally of the match as well. This is a big point and it's landed in. And affords himself a little smile. Mustofa. Yeah, on the line. What a wonderful rally.
Thank you.
So just 2 points in it.
15-17.
Oh yes, that tricky inside out cross court backhand
Service
net
over.
shot.
18.
Did that earlier in the match and gained advantage. Could be a costly error. It's gone long. Yep. Talked about it in the women's singles about the drift.
Service over. 16-19.
He's controlled the wind quite well so far. Prior to that, Momota. Oh, there's that tricky inside out backhand again.
Service
And with
over.
that delightful bit of skill
20.
come game point opportunities.
16.
Opening game 21-16 to the former world number 2,
First game
Kento
won by
Momota.
21-16.
21 minutes needed for that opening game. Yeah, every time it looked as if the Indonesian was going to catch back up. And Momota just upped the intensity of his play. 21-16 in 21 minutes.
Seconds. 20 seconds. Second game. Love all. Play.
So one game to the good. 21-16 and Kento Momota getting the second game underway. Oh, yes. Well, both of these players very, very good movers around the court. Very smooth movement from Momota. Mustofa a little more explosive in his movement. They're both an absolute delight to watch. Always ready to pounce. And that probably forced Mustofa into error. Long. Well, for the Indonesian, this is his third international tournament final. His first two, the 2014 Dutch Grand Prix and then the Thailand Grand Prix Golds of 2015. He lost both of those finals. In contrast, Kento Momota has played 12 previous finals, of which he's won 11 of them. That's an incredible record. Won his first 7 finals, and then it was on his comeback trail at the Canadian Grand Prix earlier this year. His first ever loss in a final. That's the problem from this near side of the court for Mustofa, controlling those lifts. No, and it's not the start he wanted to this second game. Ihsan Maulana Mustofa. Love.
8 love.
Well, it's looking as if it's a very welcome return to the big time for... That's going to go wide, finally. A point for Mustofa.
Service over. 1-9.
Yeah, good net shot. It has to be good, though, from the Indonesian, because his opponent will know that the likelihood of a lift is that it will go long, and therefore he'll be waiting for the net reply. That was well judged. Got out of the way of that.
Service over. 10-2.
just wide, and to the mid-game interval. 11-2, the advantage. We're only 29 minutes into the match.
Play.
So, does Mustofa have any answers to this? Oh, my goodness. Oh, it's gone wide. I even guessed right there. Momota as to which way the smash was going to come.
3-13.
Trying the backhand smash. It was just going through my mind that perhaps he ought to just try something completely different, because quite frankly, just going on like this is not going to help his cause. He knows he's got to make it tight. He's not giving himself margin for error.
14-4.
I think Mustofa can certainly take heart from the fact that he's in a final again 25 months after his last, which was the Thailand Grand Prix Gold. Third Indonesian this year to be in a men's singles Grand Prix Gold tournament final. Tommy Sugiarto won in Thailand, and Jonathan Christie. Sugiarto, beg your pardon, won the Thailand Masters, and Jonathan Christie was beaten in the final of the Thailand Open. Just wide.
6-14.
How did he get out of trouble there? And again. Good judgment.
Kento, play.
Just missed it. Oh, there was that tricky net shot.
8-14.
Inside out backhand, as I call it. Shuffle coming towards his forehand side, but playing a backhand cross-court net shot. Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. What a rally. Oh! Well, going for the extravagant backhand smash in the end. Mustofa making the error. Look at that. He was halfway through his full pirouette when he played that smash. Well, earlier in the rally had been fascinating too. Not just that final shot, which we saw again.
15-8. Service over. 9-15.
Oh, brilliant. Perfect net shot. Crawled up the net and went over. Look at this.
10,
Yeah.
15.
Oh. Well, Mustofa did that to Momota in the opening game. And the left-hander repays the compliment.
10.
Looks as if he's going to lift the shuttle and just blocks back to the net. Well, just when you thought that Mustofa was making inroads, getting himself back in the match, once again, this man, Momota, just ups the intensity. A couple more quick points and all of a sudden he's looking comfortable again. That can't have been long by much. What's the raised hand of apology? Does he know it's the wrong call?
18-10.
Oh, yes. Two points away. from the title. The first ever Grand Prix gold title for Kento Momota. He's not there yet.
Same spot.
Oh yeah, I can see the umpire just telling the court official. Yeah, there's a big wet patch where he dived. Perspiration from his legs right across the centre of the court there. I still don't think that's mopped terribly well.
19-10.
Oh. The error there from Mustofa. And it is match point opportunities for Momota. Only needed the one opportunity. 21-16. 21-10, the margin of his victory in a match lasting 41 minutes. Well, there's an awful lot of fans around the world that will be delighted to see Momota back on the big stage. First ever Grand Prix gold title. His fifth title of the year and his sixth final. But his previous titles, international series and international challenger events. But here is confirmation of how he won the Macau Grand Prix gold. 21-16, 21-10.
各位嘉賓、各位新聞界嘅朋友、各位觀眾，2017澳門羽毛球格蘭披治黃金大獎賽男子單打決賽頒獎禮即將展開。
Dear guests, ladies and gentlemen, the awarding ceremony of men's singles of the 2017 Macau Open Badminton, part of the BWF Grand Prix Gold Series, is about to start.
首先介紹頒獎嘉賓。
Let's introduce our honorable guests.
我們特別行政區政府體育局代表周國偉先生。
Mr. Charles Cockway, representative of Sports Bureau of Macau SAR Government.
我們羽毛球總會會長兼2017澳門羽毛球格蘭披治黃金大獎賽組織委員會主席鄺達才先生。
Mr. Kong Ta Choi, President of Badminton Federation of Macau and President of the Organizing Committee of 2017 Macau Open Badminton, part of the BWF Grand Prix Gold Series.
世界羽毛球聯會主要賽事經理 Vanikopa Mehanlingham 先生。
Mr. Vanikopa Mehanlingham, Badminton World Federation Major Event Manager.
而家有請運動員出場。
Now let's welcome the winners to the stage.
Six tournaments in 2017, 6 times he's made his way to the podium. Kento Momota. A third final in his young career for Ihsan Maulana Mustofa. Third time he's had to settle for second best. Well, with his first final for over 2 years. But this man, this week, quite simply, has been too good. Kento Momota, former world #2, becomes the first player from Japan ever to win a title here at the Macau Open. And hopefully it won't be too long before we see Kento Momota back on the biggest stage of all, the Super Series events next year.
Macau 先生為運動員頒發獎金支票。
Now, may we invite Mr. Mahanningham to award the check.
請各位頒獎嘉賓同運動員合照。
May we invite our guests to take the group photo with the winners.
多謝頒獎嘉賓，亦都恭喜晒咁多位運動員。
Thank you, our guests, and congratulations to the winners.
Well, I said at the start of today that it was possible that all 5 titles could go to players from 5 different nations. Obviously, after the first 2 finals, that was no longer a possibility, with players from China winning those first 2 titles. Well, up next is women's doubles, and it is the beaten finalists from 4 years ago. Wang Yaxiong going for the doubles double because she's already won the mixed doubles. Here in the women's doubles with Yu Xiaohan. They're up against the newly crowned world junior champions, Baek Ha-na and Lee Yu-rim. The young Korean pair. Well, what a tournament they've had. This is their first tournament since being crowned world junior champions. And they've come through in the bottom section of the draw. In fact, at quarterfinal stage, we had 5 different nations involved, but only 3 seeds. We had 2 Chinese pairs, 2 Korean pairs, 2 Indonesian pairs. The 2 Korean pairs made it through to an all-Korean semi-final in the bottom half of the draw, and what a thriller it turned out to be. The youngsters came from 13-19 down on a run of 8 straight points to beat their older opponents and take their place in today's final. And here is the Chinese pair who were in the final here 4 years ago, played against each other in the final a year later. So the newly crowned World Junior Champions. Well, if they were to win today's final, they wouldn't actually be the first newly